Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Miami Dolphins, they win today. Third straight win for the Fins. They improved to 5-7. Still in the hunt. They win today 21-17 over the New Orleans Saints by the thinnest of margins. The Miami Dolphins hold on for dear life and are able to vanquish the Saints. It got super dicey. A really piss poor performance today by Tua Tagovailoa. Somehow the Dolphins survive it, even though it looked like it was going to be the bleakest of endings for Miami. They had to survive an onside kick. I mean, if you wanted like apropos of just how the Saints are gonna, stick it in you with, the curse that lingers over that building, Saints magic in the place they won the Super Bowl with one of the most famous onside kicks of all time. They recover a much less famous onside kick, and we have to sit here squinting whether or not it touched Cam Good's calf, which I guess it did. There was a couple of plays today where the reviews were super close. One of them benefited the Dolphins with the onside kick. The other benefited, one of them benefited the Saints with this onside kick. The other benefited the Dolphins with Tua Tagovailoa throwing what would have been his second interception of the day and second one to start in a Dolphins drive. I thought for sure that was a pick, and they ended up calling it incomplete, and then they said that it was going to get overturned, but they said they couldn't. And man, you were just like, oh my God, Tua has been awful today. And it's one of those things where I get it. People are gonna say this is the lazy, easy place to go, but sometimes things are what they are. And it's like, yeah, the Dolphins win today and they hold off, and Minkah Fitzpatrick has a huge play on a 2-point conversion that initially seemed like it saved the game for the Miami Dolphins, because you had Tyler Shuck, who was just dealing in the second half of this game. He gets the touchdown to Valet to bring it to within 2. Then they get a false start, puts him back a little bit, and Minkah has just an incredible play. House call, interception, gives the Dolphins a little bit of breathing room so you can onside and win with the field goal. So, just an absolutely huge play by Minkah Fitzpatrick, which, by the way, the sideline had no juice for. They were all just like, whatever, good for him. So the Saints, they go out there with their Irish kicker, this guy who's making his NFL, was it his debut or whatever? He made his first NFL field goal. I think it was an NFL debut, Smith with a Y, and they got him with the Irish flag afterwards. Well, this dude, he's all about wonky kicks, soccer player, dude. And he kicks this onside kick, which, by the way, onside kicks never get recovered, and this one does. And you're just like, Yee? And you have to review to see, like, did he? Not really sure. Drive gets off to a good start. They get a good play to Olave. They get a good play to Neal. And then Shuck throws it downfield. He's got Olave through 2 guys. It was dicey. He was squeaky cheeks this close. I mean, if your cheeks are getting squeaky for a 4-17, maybe they aren't now. I don't know. I don't know where everybody's at right now. Because I don't want to be a rat bastard about this. Like, yes, they are winning. They are on a winning streak. But these last 2 wins, dude, I mean, they're not against great competition. The Dolphins as a whole aren't playing great. Their quarterback is playing very uninspired football. Achane remains awesome. The coach remains confusing to everybody. Everybody was saying this back-to-back drives for the Miami Dolphins. So the Saints got in position because Achane, who was motoring on down and doing his thing, you had a play, Dolphins are up 19-11. First, Tua tries to maneuver and has no awareness of the pocket. He slides, he's shy of the sticks. So it's 4th and 1. Dolphins go to Ollie Gordon in the backfield. They're going to go with their power back. They did this last game 2 weeks ago where Devon Achane was hurt. They didn't go with Achane, even though Achane 134 yards rushing today, 6 yards a carry. Just an absolute monster. And nope, they're going to go with Ollie Gordon, who did not have himself a day. But he is tackled from behind. A great play made by Kool-Aid McKinstry. Excuse me. Great play by him. Gets Ollie Gordon tackled behind the line of scrimmage. So you have a no awareness run by Tua, and then you have just a meek 4th and 1. Second game in 2 games that the Dolphins have blown a 4th and 1 to try and salt away the game. They can't do it. And so that one, you're just like, ugh, all right. The Dolphins, the drive beforehand, when they had the ball, this was another one where it was just like, and even the announcers, it was Schlereth and Chris Myers. And Chris Myers and Schlereth were both beside themselves because you just motor it on down, Achane, keep it going. And you just the Dolphins, I don't know. Tua tries to find Darren Waller, too much juice on it, so he misses him. He's out of bounds. And then Tua is dealing with Chase Young, who, had himself a day against Patrick Paul. He really turned up the juice in the second half, so the Dolphins have to settle for a field goal. But they were rolling, and Mike McDaniel, instead of going with what was working in the run game, he gives it to Tua, and Tua can't deliver. He's nearly picked off to start the drive, and it looked terrible. It was absolutely just a rough looking drive for your Miami Dolphins, and it was a bad second half all around. It really it wasn't inspiring in the least. And I think that's the thing that's deflating about this is man, you have a really great game from Devon Achane. He looks like one of the best players in football. But instead of riding the hot hand, they go away from him when he can't be stopped. And again, you just look at this duo of Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa, and you just I just get zero level of faith from you guys. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And even this game today, really any competent quarterback play and coaching call, this game should have been blowout city. It should have been 2 tickets to blowout city. They got off to a great start. Achane, of course, because he's just too effing fast. Great game by Julian Hill blocking for him. That game that game for them was on point. Minkah Fitzpatrick then followed it up with a strip fumble, which was recovered by Zach Sealer. You're just like, wow, that was pretty awesome. So, but the Dolphins did nothing with it, because anytime the Dolphins asked Tua to do anything, he couldn't. It was annoying. And then the Dolphins today, this happened a couple times with him, where Tua was given the football by his defense, and the next play, they're like, hey, let's go deep. Waddle in the end zone between 2 defenders, picked off right away. You're just like, what are we doing? What's going on here? Why is this? Why are they making this so much harder than it should be? And so I just think you have to have these honest conversations with yourself with the game, because the Dolphins are in the stupid hunt. Good for them. And they got the Jets next week, who, as I went over here, that game was, I don't know, did the Jets end up winning? That was a tickle fight as I was exiting. The Jets end up winning that game. So you're taking on the Jets next week on the road. They just beat the Falcons. And yeah, very curious to see how Tua handles weather. It should be mentioned this was a bit of a weird weather game. There was slippery ball, slippery field. Okay. Didn't seem to bother Tyler Shuck very much in the second half of this game because that dude was dealing. But yeah, like Tua was given an opportunity. You're up 10-0. Minkah Fitzpatrick, big play. Tua, can you do this? Nah, how about I throw an interception? Like, all right, cool, dude. That was aces. And I don't know, it just felt like there was another play where Achane again was like the Dolphins were moseying on down. Achane was cooking. They get right involved. Ollie Gordon keeps the push moving. Tua got a nice one to Waddle. And then Achane got all the way down into the red zone. Tua to Achane. They try and connect on a little thing. Tua, a little too much zip. Yeah, probably could have been caught, but it wasn't on the money. And that one's blown. You're just like, are you kidding me, dude? So they got to settle for a field goal. And that was just it was really, really insane to see that. And then next drive, the probably one of the longer drives by the Saints, Rasul Douglas, I mean, just absolutely jumps on Tyler Shuck. Huge interception. He's got about a little over a minute left. Dolphins are moseying on down. Tua finds Malik Washington. And yeah, the Dolphins like had an opportunity to go for this, and they just kind of like let it piss away, and they settled for a field goal. And you're like, all right, whatever. And so I think that's just the thing with today is like, I think you love the game from Devon Achane. Defense, Chop Robinson, been waiting for a big game from him. He looked really good today. Bradley Chubb, the pass rush, did good. You got a monster game from Minkah, who had some big impact plays for the Dolphins today. But it took every fiber of your being because of Tua, who was sailing balls left and right today. He's leading the league in interceptions. He probably should have had an extra one today. And just not being able to finish off drives. You're just sitting here a little bit like uninspired by it, outside of how your running back is playing. I mean, obviously he's one of the best players in football, but for some reason when he sets you up to be in really good positions, the coach is like, let's go away from that. So again, it's like the coach and the quarterback maintain everybody at this level of like, they're going to tell you, hey, be happy with this. And I think the fans are right to be like, not really, because this isn't going to last. You're not going to continue to hocus pocus your way through games. And it's going to, they're not going to be able to do this for 5 more games. Smoke and mirrors and get lucky breaks and all these things. Like this is going to end up in disaster because, I think eventually, and the thing that's crazy about it is I think like you're put in these positions where the other team is sitting there and they're like, oh, come on, bro. You there's no way that they're going to give us this opportunity. And they do. They do. It was insane today. Yeah. Mike McDaniel wrong on a challenge again today. There was one on he challenged a valet catch and he was like, no challenge. He lost that. So I don't know. There was that drive. Tua, Achane starts it off strong. 3rd and 1. Tua throws it like completely behind Julian Hill. No shot. So I don't know, man. Be happy with this, I guess, if you're good with it. I don't know. It feels silly to pretend that this was exciting. It wasn't. It was frustrating. It was a second half that was dominated by New Orleans. The Dolphins got some incredible timely plays by their defense to just elongate it, but it felt like this game should have been, I don't know, 30-7, and instead the Dolphins needed miracles to even keep this up. Tua today was 20 of 23 for 157 yards with a pick, no touchdowns. Yeesh. Tyler Shuck, 26 to 38, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Oh, I guess they don't count. He really had 2. I guess they don't count the 2-point conversion. Yeah. Devon Achane, 22 carries, 134 yards and a touchdown. He's awesome. Darren Waller, look at the Darren Waller today was your leading receiver, 2 catches, 47 yards. Jalen Waddle, 4 catches, 40 yards. 3 catches, 40 yards. Malik Washington, most catches today, 4 catches, 30 yards. None of these guys had an impact. Dulcich had a couple of good catches. Yeah. Not inspiring day. Whatever. I don't care if I sound like an ingrate. I know I'm going to get into fights about this tomorrow on the radio show with Leroy, but ugh. I just was like, and you're going to sit here and you're going to be like, hey, they'll beat the Jets next week, probably in some, first of all, a team that play like this could absolutely go lose on the road. There's no doubt about it. These last 2 games have been at home. They've been in Spain. Play like this on the road in the elements, you're probably going to lose, even if it is the Jets. So keep that in mind. Not a team that I'm like chalking up beating the Jets. I don't think you should chalk up them beating anybody. But even if they do, like, there's going to be whoever it is on these last 5, there's going to be a reckoning for the Miami Dolphins. Like, for a team that isn't completely inept and playing with kids and needs a half to get going, I don't know. I just don't see this ending in the miracle run. We're sitting here in January, you guys can roll this back and make me look a fool on it. I'll own it. You know I will. But that was ugh. I don't know. Feel like I need to take a shower after that win.